Against this right back, Charlie.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. And with an intro like that, what more is there to be said, people? Excluding people deluded. I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. I hope you're all having a great start to the week. With it being Wednesday and the midway point, I hope you're all moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations, and all of them good things there. Happy New Year, of course. Appreciate all the support you lot give our platform, and I'm very appreciative of what we've been able to amass on YouTube and Twitch. But the journey isn't done. We keep going. Please make sure you're subscribed, you're turning on your notifications, you're aware of the YouTube playlist, you're having a browse of all my other content, and you smashed the like button and commented either at the end of this video or just in the comment section or during the live chat when this premieres. Now, at the time of making this vid, it's 15:14, it's 3:14, you might as well say 3:15 now, UK time. And again, it's transfer season. To be fair, I might just start bringing out videos, you know, because as much as I like Arsenal and things, I like football, man. It would be good to just speak with you lot about all the transfers that's going on, you know. Again, Akpom, Chuba Akpom, another former Haylender, is currently the Championship's top goal scorer, and he's drawn interest from Southampton and Everton. There's Enzo Fernandez stuff to Chelsea, Jude Bellingham to Madrid, you know, Jack Butland to Man United after, I think, I can't remember the Newcastle keeper's name, but he's been recalled. So, yeah, it is what it is. There's a lot of transfer business, people. Where Arsenal's concerned, I'm sick of hearing about Mudryk, I can't lie, but I do it for you lot. And that's not because I don't want the player. He'd provide depth. He's obviously got decent things that Mikel Arteta would like, but it's a saga, man. This needs to be a Netflix documentary. This, you know, I hope Amazon are recording this because there could be an all or nothing Mudryk series, people. So without waffling and wasting any more time, let's see what's actually going on, you know, in at this time and age in terms of the transfer window and all the news and all of that. You know, again, Chelsea, I don't know if this is games being played by Shakhtar to leverage, you know, Chelsea or any other club's interest to squeeze more money out of Arsenal. I don't know Chelsea's real willingness, because it seems like they're getting the Monaco lad, they're spending the bag on Enzo Fernandez. There's talk they want to buy a traditional striker. Todd Burr, he hasn't been shy in spending money, so things could happen. I don't know if Chelsea are willing to be alert to if Mudryk to Arsenal doesn't happen, because although I think it will happen, there has to be an element of Arsenal prepared to walk away and assess other targets as Shakhtar keep moving the goalposts. We know this was never going to be a quick turnaround. Hopefully there's some significant interest, man. And this guy has to be the player I've spoken about the most, man. I don't think his own mother and father have spoken about him this many times. But anyways, Arsenal forced to increase 60 million Mikhail Mudryk bid after Chelsea signal interest. Arsenal have been told to increase their bid for Mudryk after it emerged Chelsea are exploring a move for the Shakhtar Donetsk winger. The Gunners have been locked in talks over a move for Mudryk, but their latest offer of around 60 million for the Ukraine international is set to be rejected. Shakhtar are holding out for closer to 85 million, and their position has been strengthened after it emerged Chelsea could enter the race to sign Mudryk. Chelsea have held talks with Shakhtar Donetsk chief executive Sergei Pulkin, who Standard Sport understands is playing a key role in negotiations, and their interest could drive the price up. Arsenal remain front runners to sign Mudryk after making him their top January transfer target, and the 21-year-old has made it clear he's keen on a move to the Emirates Stadium. But Shakhtar Donetsk director Dario Sana is set to hold talks with Chelsea in London this week as the Blues consider a move. Sana is a regular in London as his family live there. Shakhtar want a significant amount of any transfer fee for Mudryk to be paid up front, which could scupper any potential move from Chelsea. The Blues are already in talks over 112 million move for Enzo Fernandez and want to stagger that fee as they bid to stay in line with UEFA financial fair play rules. The talks are set to continue this week, with Arsenal keen to wrap up a deal quickly as they bid to strengthen their title bid. The Gunners are working hard to push for a move for Mudryk before they play Tottenham and Manchester United later this month. We're playing Tottenham after we play Oxford. Mikel Arteta has already spoken about the benefit of doing transfer business early this month as Arsenal target their first Premier League title since 2004. I mean, Champions League first, but is what it is. Off topic, people, I can just see on Sky Sports, apparently West Ham joint chairman David Gold has died at the age of 86 following short illness. So thoughts, as you know, condolences to his family. Thoughts are with West Ham, his family and his relatives and the footballing community. RIP, my man. So moving away from that, allegedly Miguel Delaney. Now, essentially, all these journalists are just adding their own personal spin on things. We don't know who's right, who's wrong, who's in the know, who's not. But he is saying Chelsea are willing to trump any offer to Shakhtar on Mudryk. Player prefers Arsenal. Chelsea relaxed about Potter as they feel he is working with a mismatched squad built to multiple different managers, building around youth and taking on rivals for it like this, people. And again, the Independent, you have to subscribe to it. So we can't see that, but apparently Chelsea are ready to beat Arsenal to Shakhtar's 88 million Mudryk. So we'll have to see, I mean, do you really want to be second choice? Obviously, if Arsenal move away from it, Chelsea are in the Champions League. They've won the Prem and the Champions League more recently than Arsenal. In fact, well, we ain't won it. He'd still be moving to London. He'd still get his wish of joining a competitive club. So if Arsenal were to walk away, despite all the talking about joining Arsenal and all the social media antics and all the long-held interest within Mudryk and Arsenal, he'd have to kiss that goodbye, really. So sometimes you don't always get the move, really. So we'll have to see. It does feel like Chelsea are alert to anything Arsenal do, because again, at some point, smash the like button, people. Arsenal have to be prepared to walk away if that is. There's it's a game of chess right now. It seems stick or twist. So we'll have to see what's going on in that regards. Shakhtar hand Arsenal 88 million Mudryk transfer ultimatum after Chelsea open rival talk, says Charles Watts. Arsenal will have to substantially raise their offer for the Shakhtar Donetsk winger Mudryk if they are to land the 21-year-old this month. Apparently, he's 22 tomorrow. Apparently, we tabled a second bid for Mudryk on Monday. It's now Wednesday after having an opening offer of around 55 million rejected. But Shakhtar also now indicated that Arsenal's latest proposal, believed to be around 62 million, was once again far too low, with the Ukrainian side holding firm on their 88 million. And there's also rumors that they'll hold on to him until the summer, which he would get his move. Obviously, his price tag might further balloon because clubs are interested in the summer. He's done the business in the Champions League and for his domestic and in the domestic campaign. If he maintains that to the end of the season, then he would help them achieve their goal of qualifying for Europe. And also, he's contracted until 2025/26. So they're in a strong position in terms of negotiating for the 21-year-old. Where Arsenal, you can see we need some bodies, especially when we need to score some more goals. And Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, Eddie/Jesus, they can't really do it. Our bench isn't the strongest. And, you're kind of hoping Reece Nelson, Gabby Jesus, Smith Rowe to go with Mudryk are all available quicker. Well, sooner rather than later, because as I said in the last live video, last transfer news video, better yet, we're probably got better options in terms of if we take the lead in games and seeing out games with the ability to go free at the back with Rob Holding, which is he's in folklore for that. He won the FA Cup via that kind of means, really, with us. The Holdings, the Tomiyasus, the El Nenes, the Kieran Tierney's, or anyone that doesn't play. If these names I said play, the byproduct of them being on the bench. In terms of chasing games, yes, you've got Marquinhos and you've got Fabio Vieira. Probably more so Marquinhos, but probably more wild cards. So we'll have to see. But Arsenal are desperate to get a deal done for Mudryk this month to bolster Mikel Arteta's attacking options ahead of the second half of the season. And the players made it known how keen he is on moving to North London. But sources have confirmed to Goal that Shakhtar would be willing to put an end to the ongoing talks this month if their valuation is not soon hit, and would wait until the summer before restarting any negotiations. Arsenal also have the issue of Todd Burhey's Chelsea to deal with, as the West London club are now in active talks with Shakhtar over Mudryk. He always joins them in Football Manager, although they are not yet understood to have tabled an official offer. So we're still ahead of them in that regards, people. Shakhtar's seemingly unwavering stance over Mudryk will be a growing concern for Arsenal, who want to wrap up a deal for the winger in the early stages of the January window. The Gunners will soon be faced with a big dilemma if a deal can't be reached. Mudryk remains the priority, but if signing him proves to be impossible, they'll have to decide whether to move on to somebody else. And that's true. As you can see this season, injuries, the looming suspensions, fatigue, mental fatigue, the need for rotation. All of these things are now coming more prevalent because we're now gearing towards not only the Premier League, where we're essentially playing once every 3 days. We get a bit of rest now between Newcastle and Oxford on Monday, but the games are coming thick and fast. There's some tough games and there's a lot of football to be played. You've got the FA Cup also, as well as the Premier League, and soon the Europa League to come into action. And one has to thank your lucky stars that obviously we topped the Europa League group, so we kind of exited, like, in comparison to Man United having to play another round. So we'll have to see how these things truly develop. Arsenal's second 62 million Mudryk transfer bid to be rejected amid Chelsea's interest, as once again Shakhtar point to Jack Grealish's fee. Shakhtar Donetsk are set to reject Arsenal's improved 62 million bid for Mudryk, according to reports. At this point, everyone and their nan knows that he's the Gunners' #1 January target, people. So yeah, we had an opening bid of 52 million turned down, and as it says here, according to the Daily Mail, we followed up with a 62 million pound offer, I assume with more upfront monies, and it's also set to be turned down. They value him at 88 million. So you could see that as we're getting closer and closer, but again, I think they probably want a bit more money up front. Once again, Chelsea are yet to bid officially for him. A bid of 60 million plus 20 million in add-ons could be enough for the Blues to beat Arsenal to the signing of Mudryk. Shakhtar believe an offer in this region to be a fair price, given the fees paid for Jack Grealish and Anthony in recent seasons. Once again, Mudryk has made no secret of his desire to move to North London. Should that fail to happen, obviously, then he could go here, there, or everywhere. Or maybe Arsenal will say, we'll circle back for you in the summer. Who knows, people? Once again, Chelsea are considering a bid for Shakhtar Donetsk winger and mid-interest from Arsenal, of course. So we'll have to see what's going on there, really and truly, people. So we'll have to see. Sky Sports News report that Arsenal will agree a deal for Mudryk. Arsenal and Shakhtar are continuing conversations over the size of the fee and the payment structure. One source has told Sky Sports News that Arsenal are prepared to pay a fee closer to Shakhtar's 85 million valuation, which is a couple quid less than the reports we've just read. An agreement hasn't been reached yet, but Arsenal are working hard to find a compromise. There's a feeling from sources close to the deal that the clubs will find a solution, with the 21-year-old wanting the move and personal terms not expected to be a problem, people. So we'll have to see what's going on there, people. Really and truly. So it is what it is. And we know they've spoken about, he's the best player in Europe in his position after Mbappe and Vinicius. And he's also labeled the Ukrainian Neymar. So big expectations to live up to. Shakhtar Donetsk encouraging auction for Mudryk, as we all would if we had an asset. Club sources confirmed there will be formal discussions with Chelsea this week in London. Arsenal still considered front runners and remain in negotiations over a deal, but still there is a reluctance to meet the 85 million quid valuation, people. Allegedly, Arsenal in Yuri Tielemans' transfer blow, with Leicester still hoping midfielder will sign a new long-term contract. Moving to Arsenal, signing a new long-term contract, or going elsewhere, all things. And I do think there's a lot of admiration within Arsenal for Tielemans. We love him at the club, but I don't think that it's that deep. I think if we can get him, we will. If not, there's probably other targets. And I would love Tielemans at Arsenal, but it is what it is, especially at 25 years of age. We know his contract is running down, so we'll have to see, people. And you can't blame Leicester for trying to get him to sign a new deal. Whether Tielemans would be silly to sign a new deal is down to you lot's discretion. Smash the like button, let me know your opinions. This journalist has said there's been contact between Chelsea and Shakhtar for Mudryk, but no official offer has been made. Arsenal are always the favourites, people. So we'll have to see exactly what is happening in them regards there. Arsenal interest in Yuri Tielemans calls with January transfer looking unlikely. We probably knew that we're going to probably try and get him on a free, if anything. But for what it's worth, Football.London have said Arsenal's interest in Yuri Tielemans has called. Football.London understands the Gunners were heavily linked to the Belgium international over the summer amid reports that his agent had held talks with Edu. However, Arsenal opted to not make a move for Tielemans, and it's understood that a move for him at the time was not close to completion. There had been some suggestions that Mikel Arteta's side could be back in for the 25-year-old in January, but that seems unlikely as things stand. We all know he's available, potentially for a cut price, as he has 6 months remaining on his deal. Arsenal are not thought to be keen at this moment in time. The Belgium is understood to have several suitors across Europe, including teams in Spain, while Chelsea have also shown an interest. Allegedly, we are focusing on Mikhail Mudryk's signing as well, people. So we'll have to see. Once again, Mikel Arteta wants business done sooner rather than later. We are trying to improve the squad in every window. We are trying to do our best because we cannot waste any windows still with the squad and the numbers we have. We will try. big words from Mikel Arteta. So Edu and Co have to get a move on. Allegedly, Joao Felix is missing from the matchday squad after rumours Arsenal could sign him, and also Man United people. So we'll have to see, people. Maybe he's disillusioned, but in relation to, Atletico Madrid's clash with Oviedo, he will not, the 23-year-old Joao Felix will not be involved, whether that's because he's disillusioned, he's injured, he's just not seen as the right sporting choice for the game. Is at you lot's discretion, people. Don't really care for what Gary Neville has said there. In relation to Gabriel Jesus, he's provided an update. He's off crutches now. We need to call off. You want him back sooner rather than later, but we need him back properly. Look at Reece James. He came back, played 54 minutes, suffered another setback, and how much of that is a blow to Chelsea's aspirations this season. Not just him, but Emil Smith-Rowe. Obviously, as I was alluding to, we need these players because we need depth, but there's no point coming back 2 weeks earlier, playing, being available for a game. You bust your knee or you bust whatever happens and you're out for longer. Come back when things are happening, and setbacks and all of these things are still a thing. But Gabriel Jesus is walking without crutches, and forget playing for Arsenal. This is someone who is a dad. That obviously helps him able to play with his kids and whatnot. Obviously, he's a dad, he's a grandson, he's a son. He's just, you need your knee in human life, in it, really and truly, And it's a testing thing for someone that's 26 years of age, a year younger than me. Obviously, he's a footballer, but it's a bit brazy kind of being bedbound or reliant on crutches, especially when, you want to be playing football and things like that. So, yeah, we'll have to see what's going on, people. He's making good progress, though, and he's no longer using crutches to get around. Jesus is instead just wearing a knee brace as he continues his rehab. Arsenal, as they always been, are reluctant to put an exact time frame on how long Jesus will be out, people, which is right. And big up Eddie and Nketiah for taking advantage of Jesus' absence, people. First time he didn't score in his starts against Newcastle, but the whole team didn't score. First time in a hot minute we failed to score. I'm pretty sure that's the first time this season against Newcastle in the new 0-0 draw that we have failed to bag. But yeah, big up the squad depth that we do have at the club. Miguel Aziz has been recalled from his loan at Spanish Segunda Division side Ibiza after both clubs reached an agreement to end the loan early. It's been a bit of a testing period, not really done much there. There is rumors of an injury. We'll have to see what's going on there. Maybe if it's not an injury, we'd find him another home where he's more likely to play, people. If we look at completely off topic, but Granit Xhaka, he said, we can be proud not of our point, but our game. Our midfield general said on the game yesterday against Newcastle, yes, of course, if you don't win, you're always disappointed, but you can be proud of our performance today. I think we had chances and the small details we missed today, but this is part of the game. And if someone told us in January that we'd be in this position, we would sign straight away. We have to keep going, keep working on small details and keep focusing on the next game. He then went on and said, absolutely, sometimes it's dangerous in a game like this because you try to score, you try to open the game up as well, and you're never really focused for the back. But we did very well. And I don't know if Newcastle had a chance today or a clear chance, but they have a good team as well. Credit to them. They came here to take something and they took a point. Now we are looking forward. In the end, we can be proud, not of the point, but our game, and we keep going on still being in a healthy position. Of course, after this season, the people expect to win all the games, but this is football. It can happen in games like this where we're not so lucky and small things are missing. We'll take the point. It's only a point, of course, but this point could be massive at the end of the season. If you can't win, don't lose. When speaking about an FA Cup run, absolutely. Last season, we lost our first game, and we know how important the FA Cup is for us, for this football club, and for the fans. And next Monday, we want to do the next steps forward. Amen. Seeing what our gaffer has said, Mikel Arteta on the draw, penalty decisions and transfers. He said on being frustrated at full time, he said, I'm really proud the way we played, the way we dominated the game, the approach that we had from the beginning. We lacked that spark in the final third to find the opening, to find the right moment, an extra pass and a little bit of finishing quality. But we had a lot of solutions in and around the box to do better. There were two scandalous penalties where we should have at least had one, I would say, at a push for Gabriel. On the last penalty shout in particular, and 5 minutes of added on time, which is too minimal considering all the time wasting Newcastle were doing. Big up to them, because there's elements we have to do in that game. We can't control the refs giving or not giving penalties. We can't control added on time. What we can control is the variables. And in the final third, we didn't do enough to break down Newcastle, have real clear-cut chances for really the first time this season. And Newcastle showed why they've got one of the best defensive records this season. And as I said in the last video, what do you expect them to do? We're one of the best attacking teams this season. They're one of the best defensive teams. So they can arguably defend better than us. We can attack better than them. Why are they going to come out onto us and try and do a madness? If an opportunity presents itself, they'll take advantage. He did say both of them, it's not particular. It's a penalty or not a particular, and it's both penalties. Listen, we were on top of them. We were chasing the goal. We were in a good moment, and I didn't want to make more changes. Fair enough. On if he spoke to the refs at full time, what has he got to say? He can't change anything. He then spoke on if, what would have happened in the past. He said, I don't know that. We wanted to win it, and we still have that in the guts that we did more than enough, and we merit a different result, but we didn't get it. When you can't win, draw. When you can't win, don't lose, which is that. It's not that. It's not about the feeling. I think the team was on top of it. We were really chasing it. We really wanted it. You could see that the team was putting everything in to take those 3 points. We lacked in the final third, and we lacked the big decisions on the altercations with the Newcastle stuff, just things on the game, on the ref having control of the game. He has the whistle, so he has control. I'm not here to talk about referees. Amen. On if only one team wanted to win, I don't know. I talk about my team. My team wanted to win 100%. On if the tension on the touchline and the stands help the team, of course it does. It's a football match. It's competitive. The way we play, the way they play, we are close in the table. It's like this. It's the beauty of the league. Amen, Gaffer. On if the team were calm enough, I think the team was really composed. Then he spoke on the transfer window. He said, I don't know. It's a question for Edu and the board to respond. We are trying to improve the squad in every window. This is no different. We do our best because we cannot waste any window with the squad numbers that we have, so we shall try. On if he sees Newcastle as title contenders, I don't know. I think there's still a lot to play for, and we will see. On failing to score for the first time this season, well, we wanted to win. We tried to get the points and we could not do it. But I think we should be proud of the performance against a really good side. Finally, the gaffer said the way we play, the personality, the cohesion, the determination, the clarity of the way we want to play, and they've been great. But I'm especially proud of any way we play against any opponent. Big up the gaffer, Granit Xhaka, and so on and so forth. I mean, to wrap this up, I guess we could look at the transfer news if Goal.com's come out with anything relating to Arsenal. Where is it now? I don't think there'll be anything new. We know Saka's been given we've taken out an extra year for him and Saliba as we remain in talks with Saka, Saliba, and Martinelli over new deals. We've seen this Arthur Melo swap deal stuff. I mean, Mudryk is the primary guy you're going to see. Apparently, we placed a 60 million, or we're looking to offer 60 million for Moses Caicedo. I think Brighton are more likely to let go of Alexis McAllister, and then they want to let Moses Caicedo grow. We've previously heard, like Tielemans, we're interested in Rabiot for a cut price in January / a free transfer at the end of the season. So we'll have to see. No clue. I would love Skriniar. No clue on who this Molde midfielder is, but he's 20 years of age, played 25 times in the Norwegian top flight. All you got to do is ask the class Norwegian, Martin Odegaard, the captain, what he thinks of him. And maybe, with us having City links, Arteta could do a favour, shout Pep Guardiola and ask Haaland really what he thinks of my man to go with the scouting. So I'm not too sure on anything. Joao Felix, we're looking to land on loan and all these things, 1 minute permanent, then loan, but we're hearing a £21 million loan fee. Of course, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United for 4 to 5 months for that. It isn't the most practical of signings, especially if it goes right, fair enough. If it goes wrong, mad tig people. But on that note, I don't think there's anything else to say. So we've covered the press conference with Mikel Arteta. We've spoken about Mudryk, Joao Felix, and anything else across this. Please make sure you're subscribing, you're hitting the like button, you're commenting, you're following on all the socials, you're turning on your notification bells. But most importantly, folks, stay blessed, stay safe, stay in good spirits, stay attacking your goals for this week. Happy New Year once again. Condolences, obviously, to the West Ham joint chairman, David Gold, who unfortunately has passed away after a battle with a short illness. Thoughts are with his family and West Ham at this time. Hope you lot stay blessed, stay in good health. One love, people. Appreciate the support, appreciative of what we're amassing on our channels. I say channels because we've got YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you're cross-following and all that stuff. See you lot again soon. One love.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like